Welcome, fencers and non-fencers alike, to the first iteration of what I'm calling the Kansas Report. This is the news side of the channel. This is the updates on what Kansas fencing is doing, both internally at tournaments or at larger tournaments outside of our state. Today, I'm covering the 7th annual Dawn Bone tournament. This tournament is hosted by Buccaneer Blades out in Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. This club is a wonderful club for hosting tournaments. I remember back in the day, they were always very friendly. They send fencers out. We have gotten Buccaneer Blade fencers into Kansas in past years for tournaments, which is very rare. Again, we tend to be a very isolated state. This club has always made us feel welcome and has come out to our clubs where we can make them feel welcome. This year was no exception. 4 fencers attended the Open, so the senior mixed épée event. So all age, all gender, épée fencing. All 4 of our fencers performed incredibly. Of the 4, I am the only fencer out of the 4 who underperformed based on my rating. All 3 of the others either exceeded expectations based on their initial seeding or met them strongly. To make this clear, 3 of the 4 fencers that Kansas sent to this tournament placed in the top 5, right? These are our 3 rated fencers. These are 3 of the top 5 fencers in Kansas as well. So this is not a weak group we sent, and this is not an insult at all to Missouri fencing. This is Kansas's best fencers went and put on an excellent performance, and we were fighting for our lives against some of these Missouri fencers. They had us on our toes, but we showed up and we were competitive. Our 4th fencer was an unrated fencer. To my knowledge, this was the fencer's first épée tournament, though I have not had this confirmed. I do not attend this fencer's club. Not only did this fencer put up an outstanding performance in pools, even coming back in a pool bout where they were down 3 points to win it, but also won their first round of DEs, which is always what matters for an unrated fencer trying out these tournaments. An outstanding performance from our 4th fencer. Now, shout outs to those 3 who placed in the top 5. The first of these is Noah Tieking from Wichita Fencing and HEMA Academy. This is a young man who just last year earned his C for his first time. He's only been fencing for a couple of years and has been steadily improving. This weekend was the clearest example of his potential I have ever seen. I was absolutely blown away. This fencer went nearly undefeated in pools, only dropping a single bout to an A-rated fencer in his pool, and the bout was close. Additionally, Noah's performance in pools was so good that he earned a bye in the first round. He was the only C-rated fencer to earn a bye, and was the only C-rated fencer at the tournament that I saw renew his C rating. Noah, by earning 5th place, earned his C 2026 and is now, on paper, objectively the 5th strongest fencer in Kansas after the A's and the B's. He is the C who has renewed his C 2026, and he performed out of his mind. The bout that eliminated him was also against an A-rated fencer. The only people Noah lost to this entire event was an A-rated fencer, and it was a close bout. It was double-digit points on both sides. Noah was competitive. Noah was frustrating his opponent. Noah has shown incredible growth, and I believe here within the next year, at this rate, we're looking to see Noah push into that top 4 and bring home a B for the state. Then, I myself was eliminated in the round of 3. It was not my greatest tournament, but I performed very strongly. And what is notable is the person who eliminated me was another Kansas fencer. So, while I would like to have gone further in the tournament, to be eliminated by another Kansas fencer is the best case scenario, right? It shows the growth of Kansas. It shows just how competitive we are as a scene. I made it to the semifinals. I went undefeated in pools. I had 2 very strong DE bouts before I was eliminated 15-13 by John Powell, our other Kansas fencer. Speaking of John Powell, this video is dedicated to John Powell and to his performance. This man recently, in the last year, has gotten his B back, having been an A in his youth, much like I was. John has been showing an incredible return to form. This man is dominant. This man is the fencer in Kansas who has a winning record against me at tournaments. This man is the scariest man Kansas fencing has seen in a very long time. I know he likes to consider himself Georgian still. He is a Kansas fencer. We claim him. We want him. He is a monster. And he performed this weekend. The man went undefeated in pools. And while his seeding was only third out of pools, that was because his pool was smaller. He had an indicator of plus 17, which for those of you that don't know, mean he scored 17 more points than were scored against him, even though he had less bouts than other pools did. That is just how strong he fenced. In his run to the finals, where he eventually won and earned his A 2026, making him the highest rated epee fencer in the state, and for the first time in decades, the first person to bring home a second A into Kansas. Kansas has been limited to one A at a time for years and years. John only once gave up more than 10 points in an elimination bout. These are bouts to 15. These are bouts where if your opponent scores double-digit points against you, you can say with confidence, all right, that was a close, that was a competitive bout. That only happened to John once. John was shutting out his opponents. The only person to score more than 10 points against him was myself, was another Kansas fencer. This was the run of a lifetime. If John can keep this performance up at future tournaments, he is the future of Kansas fencing. I will give my all to take him down, to do my best to improve myself. But right now, John is running the state in terms of epee. He is consistent. The last tournament I fenced here in Kansas, and last tournament a number of the highest rated fencers in Kansas attended. John also took me down in the finals. This was when he got his B back. This man is on a roll, not only at this tournament, but in fencing as a whole. So, special shout out to both Noah and John. John for earning his A 2026 and bringing Kansas to heights it hasn't seen in decades, and Noah for renewing his C 2026 and for performing above his rating, for being by far the highest performing C at the tournament, only losing to A-rated fencers. Shout out to both of you, and as always, welcome to Kansas Fencing. We hope you'll stay with us.